My name is Jake. I can't skate, and I'm drinking from a fire hose today with this team. Normally, these videos would be little news videos. I would send out one at a time, but they all happened in pretty short succession this afternoon, and we have to talk about the Rasmus situation, so it's gonna be all one video. Let's start with the headline grabber. Blackhawks legend, or at least great, Brent Seabrook is a Calgary Flame. Before you go crazy, it's not as a player. He's not pulling a Yager. But Brent Seabrook is joining the Calgary Flames player development staff. Alongside Michael Stone, he's going to be working with our defense prospects, according to Pat Steinberg. And I was super excited to hear this news. What better guy for young defensemen like Zane Parekh to learn from than Brent Seabrook? This is an absolutely great hire and completely out of the blue. I love it. This is an amazing addition to the Flames staff. Within minutes of that news, we also had the news that mostly Calgary Wrangler, sometimes Calgary Flame, Clark Bishop had signed a 1-year extension with the team. It's 2 ways and $775K. So I'd expect him to be a teacher along with Coach Brett Sutter for the 2024 draft class coming into the Wranglers, and only be on the main roster if we sell off a bunch or with a number of injuries afflicting the team. Third piece of news, we had 2 scheduled drops today. One was for development camp, which will actually be this week at Winsport, July 2nd and 3rd. And it'll start at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday. These sessions are generally open to the public. I haven't seen an announcement that says explicitly that they are or not, but usually it is. So, if they are, feel free to head down to Winsport. I imagine if they're open, we'll see quite a few of you there. I may not be, but if I can be, I will try to be. The interesting thing that came from the decamp announcement is that we also got the roster, and the roster is, for one, significantly smaller than last year's, with 24 participants as opposed to last year's 37. And these are the players that are coming. The forwards: Andrew Basha, Jacob Battaglia, Matvey Gritton, Trevor Hoskin, Carter King, Hunter Lang, Aiden Lane, Luke Misa, Colin Potter, Cole Reshny, Theo Stokselius, Idar Suniev, Ethan Wittenbach. On defense, Axel Hertig, Jacob Leander, Henry Muse, Etienne Moran, Issa Parekh, Zane Parekh, Maceo Phillips. And the goalies: Owen Say, Arseny Sergayev, Jacob Switzer, Yegor Yegorov. You may note from this list that there are only 2 invites that are not on a contract or drafted by the Calgary Flames. 22 of the 24 are either under contract or a recent draft pick, and the roster itself is made up primarily of draft picks from the last 3 Calgary drafts, which have been excellent, and this roster looks spectacular for a decamp. This has me extremely excited for the future. Right after the decamp announcement, we also got an announcement that the preseason schedule is out, and the preseason schedule will consist of 7 games, which is way too many games, but luckily this will be the last preseason with that crazy number of games. And the preseason starts on September 21st, and actually counting a split squad game, there will be 8 games. There will just be 7 opponents. My apologies. But it starts on September 21st and goes to October 3rd. So that means we'll be getting the regular season schedule coming up pretty quick here as well. And like Steve Dangle and some other channels, I will be giving you recaps of every single Flames game, and I'm excited for the season to come. I'm not sure if I'm going to do recaps for the preseason. I'll certainly give training camp updates on the cuts and other camp news that there always is. And if something crazy happens in an exhibition game, obviously that'll be a video as well. That's it for the announcements today. However, obviously, I wouldn't be doing you a service if I didn't talk about Rasmus Andersson. And that situation has gotten far spicier than I would have liked. Unfortunately, events have made me a liar. I still think a deal gets done sometime this summer, and that might be sooner than later with recent developments. But the relationship between the team and Rasmus Andersson, and certainly between the fan base and Rasmus Andersson, is quickly darkening. And that's because reports came out this morning that Rasmus, or his representation, had informed the LA Kings, who had apparently made a fairly sizable push for him, that he was not going to sign long term there, and presumably that changed what they were willing to offer Connie in a trade. I know it would change what I would offer, and so that trade didn't happen. And now it has come out that he only has interest in signing long term with the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, we could still trade him to any team not on his no trade list, but it could change the package we're getting back and lower the value. However, other news could up the value teams are willing to offer, and that is that Aaron Ekblad has decided to remain a Florida Panther. So Rasmus and his agent squeezing the Flames is not good news. Aaron Ekblad staying with the Panthers is excellent news, and we'll see what that eventual deal looks like. It may even happen shortly after July 1st. We shall see. I'm not happy with Rasmus, not only because he made me look like a naive fool for once again believing that a player would speak in good faith with our team's management, but because he has now made it so that he is directly hurting the team. And there was no reason for this. Absolutely none. We have your no trade list. You have limited trade protection. Just work with the team in good faith, Ras. You had so much goodwill with the fan base last season, or a chunk of it. There was another chunk that wanted you dealt last season, and now they're looking like geniuses, and I'm again looking like a naive fool. But you had such a good rapport with a large chunk of the fan base, and now you've wasted all that and squeezed a team when you didn't need to for reasons that aren't necessarily clear. Part of it's probably money, of course, but it just makes me so sick to see this happening again. Some people are saying it's a fault in the management and hockey ops. I guess it could be. This is another reason we really need to focus on guys that absolutely want to be here long term and aren't just playing to cash in, though. I'm interested to see how this saga turns out, and I'm disappointed. With that said, if you like what I'm doing here, like, subscribe, and share. The community's growing. Show me you like the videos. I love interacting with all of you. And go Flames! Happy Canada Day! Happy free agency! These are exciting times.